Welcome back to Sunday Vibes, one and all. We are back in the pub. Chris and Patrick have joined me to answer your questions. I have to say before I start, I'm not in a good mood. I'm meant to be in Russia right now, watching England versus Belgium in Kaliningrad. But got in the plane, engines failed, no more planes to Kaliningrad today.
Oh, you'd rather the engine fail at the airport than midair, so...
Fuming.
Depends how close you are.
Fuming.
Glide in.
I'm actually devastated not to be there.
Yeah, I can imagine. So what happened? You got to the airport, was the news delivered straight away?
Got to the airport.
Was the uproar from fans
got to the airport,
around you?
checked in, sat in the gate, into the plane taxied onto the runway, went to take off, engines failed.
Oh, you were on the plane?
On the plane,
as the engine
taxied
failed.
onto the runway, then they got the little car, came in, pulled us into the thing, coned off underneath the engine, came on board and were like, oh, you know guys, it's not looking great. 50 England fans on the plane.
I imagine they took it well.
They didn't take it well at all. Some people completely lost their heads.
You're
Two
wrong.
lads bought a ticket to St. Petersburg, which then got them in from St. Petersburg to Kaliningrad at like...
Oh, I've lost their heads, haven't they?
half time in the game. Paid
if
like
they're lucky,
£16 for that, and that's at a push to get half time. So people were fuming. There was like kids like 9, 10 years old, would have been their first ever World Cup, families on there. Devastated, absolutely
Yikes.
devastated not to be.
Yeah, I mean, they don't deserve it. You, I mean, the jury's still out, but...
So if I'm miserable today, that is the reason. Let's get on to the first question though. It comes from Sam Howard. He says, what is one transfer you wish could happen this summer? Gentlemen, who wants to lead us off?
Ooh.
I mean, we should keep this fairly realistic, right? It's
Yeah,
not just like
realistic.
mental stuff like Messi to Real Madrid. But I quite like the Felipe Anderson to West Ham rumour.
Oh, it's a horrible transfer.
I quite like that every team in the Premier League has at least one player who's like kind of top 6 quality. And Felipe Anderson's a really good player. Like last season, got 17 goals and assists in like 1,500 minutes. That's like one every game.
He is notoriously injury prone though, isn't he?
He is injury prone, and he's also apparently a bit of a knob. But he was completing six
get on well with Golden
dribbles,
Sullivan then.
6 dribbles per
Bum.
90 minutes. Those are Eden Hazard numbers.
So where's he
But-
playing?
and the
Left?
season-
On the left?
He can play on both wings, but the season before this last one, he actually led Serie A in tackles, in total tackles. But he made more tackles than anyone else in Serie A. He's an attacking midfielder.
I feel like Felipe Anderson's agent is a notorious spieler. He has been linked
Player.
to Manchester United for so long, Felipe Anderson, and to Chelsea.
Yeah,
and
and
to
then he got injured. So I think therefore it kind of makes sense for him to go to West Ham. Though the amount they're going to pay for him means that
35 million.
I wouldn't go somewhere like West Ham for 35 million if I were him, because it means that if they eventually sell you, they're going to want so much money that they'll probably never let you go. So if he goes to West Ham, I think he's basically signing away the next 5 years just being
How
a
old
West
is
Ham
he?
player.
Especially if he gets injured again.
25, I think.
I thought he was maybe a little bit older. Didn't he play every minute of Lazio's league campaign before the last one? So, you know, the jury's still out as to whether he's
West Ham.
a
He's a
concern
He's a
fitness-wise.
fantastic player. I mean, obviously you prefer him for football reasons at Dortmund or whatever, but in terms of just wanting to see an exciting player in the Premier League, I really enjoyed seeing Payet at West Ham, as much as West Ham annoyed me. So it'd be nice to get to see kind of a new version of that with Felipe.
Yeah, it's like at the World Cup, right? All these smaller teams, people are surprised when there's upsets, but there's game changers in all these smaller nations now, and it's the same in the Premier League, and it's what keeps it spicy. And if they don't get Felipe Anderson, why don't they go for someone like Shaqiri, who is available for what, 13 mil? Liverpool have had a little
Something
sniff,
like that.
haven't they? I think Leicester could do a lot worse than signing Shaqiri as well if Riyad Mahrez was to go, but I think we discussed that before, haven't we? We discussed quite a few tasty transfers on Transfer Review over on EuroFootball Daily, and that went live Thursday? Maybe I should know, do the schedule. And on there we had Aaron Ramsey to Lazio, which is pretty entertaining. We had Thiago Alcantara back to Barcelona, and
Imagine that.
potentially Real Madrid. AS have said that both clubs are in for him, and with Andre Gomes and Paulinho and bloody hell.
Bloody hell, I don't know what's going on in central London, but it's a palaver.
That's what goes on in my head every time I think about Thiago Alcantara playing for Real Madrid.
Just ambulances.
But who else they got? Like Dennis Suarez in midfield. They've got a lot of assets they can sell
Still got
to
Rafinha.
facilitate a move for a player like that, right? I
So
think
Rafinha to buy his brother.
Yeah, I think Rafinha might be going to Inter Milan, despite the fact I think some fans were getting on his back the other day.
And his dad's been kind of opposed to it. Like Mourinho basically came out and said like they should be trying harder to get Rafinha. They should really want it, but now they've got Nainggolan. I don't know if it's going to happen. You know?
Yeah, they spent 30 on Nainggolan as well, didn't they?
So
pretty substantial amount for someone
I thought it was only
approaching the
22
late
million.
20s.
No, they were talking about between 30 and 44 for him.
But a transfer I'd like to see happen. I mean, you know, we've already signed French Eddie, big odds in Edouard. We've finally broke our transfer record over at Celtic Park. It was 6.5 million, gentlemen, way back in 2000, 2001 for John Hartson and Chris Sutton.
Oh, amazing.
No, but it's mental that we haven't broke it until now.
Yeah.
What do you think about Stuart Armstrong joining the Saints?
Who is he?
Oh, I mean, we'll miss that chant. I know you love a good chant.
Yeah, I've heard it. I
And,
saw
and
you
it's,
recently.
fantastic. He's just a decent box-to-box midfielder. Had a very good season in our invincible campaign. Sam Obaseki dropping his pen behind the camera. You're fired.
Has he got a bit of a Stephen Davis vibe to it?
I don't think we'll miss him. He wasn't as crucial last season, but I think he's a useful player for the Saints, and they're pretty tapped into the market north of the border.
Yeah.
By the market, I mean
Wanyama,
specifically
Van
my
Dijk.
club,
Just Celtic.
Forster.
Well,
Yeah,
that's the only club that produces anything, though, in fairness.
Yeah, be interesting to see who else Gerrard signs because, you know, John Flanagan, he's on board with the Rangers, isn't he?
I know, there's a few.
He suits that club down to a T.
Wife beat
He
his
really
FC.
does.
Anyway, I'll move on from Celtic. Premier League wise, Joe, United, anyone else?
There's a lot of players United.
Pick yourself up,
Would
lad,
like
come
to-
on.
What about the Heung-min Son rumour? Would that be fun?
What, to
Ooh,
United?
Yeah.
No, because I just don't see where he plays. We need somebody that's an out-and-out right winger. That's what United need. We've got
Okay.
enough left wingers that want to come inside.
So who would you want?
A right winger that's gonna,
Would you like
that's gonna light
Lozano?
it
That
up.
was rumoured recently. Also, he was linked with Barcelona. That'd be pretty fun.
I really don't
Star
know.
of the
who I
World
want.
Cup so
I'll tell you
far,
what,
obviously.
I just want Alexis Sanchez to play out wide right.
And who plays on the left?
Martial.
You want to keep Martial?
Yeah, I definitely want to keep Martial.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like Kovacic.
I mean-
I'd like Kovacic as our other midfielder, but I'd actually like to see Kovacic join Tottenham Hotspur when Moussa Dembele inevitably joins Juventus.
Kovacic, we spoke about him quite a bit, haven't we? But he's actually come out and said it in the paper since, hasn't he?
He
Lovely
spoke,
Croatia,
he did like an
regalia.
exclusive interview with Marca.
Yeah.
He was like,
I
I
want
have
to
€50 million release clause and I've not played enough, so I want to leave.
That's bargain.
€50 million for Mateo Kovacic. I think he's what, 24 now. The only thing is like, I do really like Kovacic, but it feels like a lot of pressure to put on Kovacic's shoulders to come in and replace a Moussa Dembele at Tottenham Hotspur, because Moussa Dembele is so crucial to that Tottenham midfield, and Kovacic isn't a regular for nation or club. So it is asking a lot for him to come in and step up and do Moussa's role.
But they don't necessarily sign players, do they, who are going to make that instantaneous impact?
true.
I mean, in a big way. I mean, they've been linked with Alessandro Player, right?
Yeah, they I don't know, they kind of accept that they can't really compete with the top clubs for transfers. But yeah, I think Kovacic could absolutely do that role. And I think also, if you've got an intelligent manager, like he's not going to assume we're just going to replace this guy who's kind of one of a kind with somebody else. He's going to adapt to fit him into the midfield. They've played a lot this season without Dembele. So clearly they can play different systems. And I think as a result, you kind of say, right, well, we're going to adapt to Kovacic's strengths because we want to maximise him, not maximise a now non-existent Moussa Dembele. You know, Dani Ceballos would be an interesting one for them as well, but it looks like he's going to go back to Betis.
Yeah.
Fabian Ruiz to Napoli, that's quite exciting.
I
too.
think I would really like to see Icardi leave Inter. I really want to see Icardi at a different club.
That'd be
Because
interesting.
obviously he's kind of got little Harry Kane vibes going on in Serie A, just such a consistent goal scorer. I really would be interested to see whether he could do it in another league or whether he's the sort of player a little bit like remind me of the guy who went to Dortmund and crunched it in Serie A and has crunched it again last season, top goal scorer in Serie A. His name's just escaping me.
Top goal scorer in Serie A.
He went to
plays for
Dortmund. He went to
Lazio. Why have you
Dortmund.
made me
Immobile.
forget his name?
Immobile.
Ciro Immobile,
Ciro
yeah.
Immobile crunched it in Serie A, didn't he? Then he went to Dortmund, struggled
Yeah,
there, and then
garbage,
came
yeah.
back. So I wonder whether Icardi could pull it off in another league.
What about the Morata to Borussia Dortmund rumour? I think that would be really fun. Apparently Chelsea want to send Morata to Dortmund in exchange for Pulisic going the other way. I think Morata would be a super fun striker for Dortmund to have. He does everything they'd want him to do.
I'd like
but he's actually not that
Wouldn't they-
dissimilar to Lewandowski.
Chelsea to pick up Icardi would be a great one.
Wouldn't they be keener on having Batshuayi back as opposed to Morata?
They take even with
Possibly, but I think like if Chelsea want to get rid of Morata, you try and get Morata.
I think Bats arguably suits their style of play more, doesn't he? Kind of operating on that that last man hovering,
Where would you like to
along
see
the front,
Memphis
anywhere on
Depay
the
go?
front line.
Maybe, but I think Morata's better at bringing people into play, so it depends what you want out of your wingers. I guess if your wingers become less like goal scorers and more just like pure providers, Maxi Philippe is a bit more of a provider than say Royce, then it maybe makes sense that you'd say, yeah, we want more of a poacher. But I think Morata would be much more in the mould of Lewandowski, who is better at bringing in that attacking band.
I'm excited to see people like Goretzka, how he'll fare at Bayern, how Gnabry will fare at Bayern after both having solid seasons in the Bundesliga. What are you about to say? Sorry about Juventus? This music's distracting me.
Yeah,
Just put this death metal on because they need their head checked.
In the background, so apologies if you can hear that. But no, I was going to say about Memphis Depay.
Okay.
I feel like Memphis Depay is a move waiting to happen. And I know United obviously have first option to buy back, but I think a big club will be hovering around Memphis Depay this summer. He's the sort of player as well, but that has that element of not superstar status, but like you feel like he could be really. And
you also feel
really
given the campaign Lyon had last year, that all the big clubs are just very wary now of getting in first for their talent, like Alvaro, right, like Ndombele. There's plenty of others, isn't there?
There's also
we might see a few movers and shakers from Lyon.
There's also a lot of players that are going to be offloaded by PSG this summer. PSG are going to offload a ton.
Wherever Guedes goes, like if he goes, then he'll be fantastic. I mean, like if they sell one of Rabiot or Lo Celso or Verratti or something like that, then that's
Di
crazy
Maria's
talent
definitely
to be on the
gonna
market.
go.
The actual maths
Pastore's
is,
already gone.
I think they have to sell £60 million worth of talent in the next month. So Edouard was obviously Celtic paid near enough 10, so they've got 50, which is
Guedes will go.
I think they've got
two big players, right?
24, 25 for Pastore. They might sell Yuri Bečić to Athletic Bilbao.
He doesn't exist. He's not a player.
Di Maria is almost definitely going to leave the club as well.
Made up.
I don't know where
He's like their
to see
social
Di
media
Maria go?
manager in a shirt.
What about Di Maria? Where would you like to see him go?
I'm not sure there's going to be many.
MLS?
Many suitors given the wages he'd demand. That's a tough one. He's not had a particularly good World Cup, so there's not really a very positive vibe around.
It feels like it's got like Milan or something written all over
a Turkish club.
Oh yes,
I guarantee Fenerbahce have already contacted his agent.
Fenerbahce,
I guarantee
100%. So, who would you like to see move this summer in the transfer market? Let us know your dream move in the comments below. Moving into the quick fire round then. The first one comes from Martin Lolovsky. He says, has VAR ruined the World Cup or is it the future of football?
No, Martin, you weapon. We've seen more goals, we've seen situations resolve themselves in a much fairer fashion. What we have seen is the human error side of it. There was one refereeing performance. Who was it?
It was I
think the Egyptians also complained about him as well.
Yeah,
one referee has made two high-profile errors. Yeah, it was the Portuguese handball, wasn't it? Everyone was displeased.
But I guess you're right.
But moving on, they are quality, all for it.
Pat.
Me too. It's only going to get better. This is as bad as it'll ever be right now.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. VAR definitely a good thing. Just needs some tweaks. It's always going to come down to subjective decisions on certain ones upstairs. They've just got to get them right.
I loved it in the studios. I think it was ITV or BBC where everyone was just slating it, and Didier Drogba was like, I mean, this is the first tournament we've used it in, right?
Yeah.
So
it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Love Island or the World Cup?
No contest.
I enjoy not being part of the Love Island conversation.
Yeah, me too. World Cup.
World Cup, but Love Island a close second. Big up team Danny and Jack.
You let yourself.
Alf Stevo1 says, is Neuer finished as a goalkeeper?
Not at all. Although I think Ter Stegen can feel very hard done by not starting this World Cup, and I don't think that Löw's loyalties have been justified in selecting him over the Barcelona man this campaign.
I mean, if this is just based on him having a couple of errors at the World Cup, that's ridiculous. We might as well say, is David De Gea finished?
Yeah, utter nonsense. He's not finished, but I would say Joachim Low has it. He should have put Ter Stegen in goal quite clearly, had a fantastic season.
I do agree.
Rushed Manuel Neuer back, nowhere near fit enough to play, no match readiness, no match sharpness, Joachim Low fully to blame. Next one, Josie11 says, which team are you enjoying watching the most at the World Cup?
Oh, please take this one first.
This is difficult, man, because I think generally the quality, particularly at the start, it's improved. It's improved since. Was quite poor, but that made for more entertaining games.
Yeah.
And we had obviously everyone knows the big hitters have struggled, particularly Argentina, Uruguay were dreadful to start off with, although they've picked up now. The game I've been most gripped by is Mexico, Germany. I was, proper invested in that. Anyone who surprised me? God, you might have to come back to me now. It's a difficult one.
Probably, Mexico's definitely up there. I'd say Senegal. Senegal have been really good. Japan have been surprisingly good, but Senegal, I just really enjoy that attack. There's so much quality in that attack. There are young players in it. I mean, I love Mane basically running as the point man between midfield and attack. I love Ismail Assar. Even Niang's been good, and I've always been a bit of a Niang skeptic.
Yeah.
So they've been great fun as well. Colombia look fun at the moment, and Belgium. I mean, Belgium are just tearing through whatever's in front of them. So I'd love to see Belgium go up against, play another team that are just like if Belgium played like Senegal.
England
that'd be a really fun game.
For me, the team I've enjoyed watching most is Croatia. Croatia. It's just such a nice brand of football.
I think they've been quite functional.
I don't know, man. I just love watching that midfield. It's so.
I didn't watch the 3-0 really against Argentina.
So tidy. And just Modric and Rakitic in the same team is always a joy to watch. So I'll go Croatia, although Mexico a close second. Yeah,
decent. All right, okay. I also think Colombia. That might be as a result of watching it in a Colombian bar with Zach Gelab on his latest educating Gelab venture. Go and check that out on EuroFootball Daily if you haven't already. It was actually a really good episode. Not that should be surprising. But yeah, I like Quintero's playing really well at this World Cup. Isn't he? James Rodriguez came back in that game to great effect, dropping a little bit deep. I like the way he was kind of linking play. And Radamel Falcao getting his first World Cup goal. That was really surprising.
He looked sharp, Falcao.
And he thoroughly deserves it. Like, knee injuries for strikers are normally just... He's reinvented himself, and he deserves an awful lot of credit for that. Look what happens to Fernando Torres. The fact he's had 20 goal seasons in domestic campaigns again is the mind boggles. But fun.
Crazy. Next one from Kieran Hughes. He says, "Is football coming home?"
Oh, Kieran, silly question. Of course it is.
Of course it is. 100%. Football's coming home. Pato?
No, come on.
Tawana has the last question in the quickfire round. And he or she, I don't know, says, who knows the most about football at Team Football Daily?
Oh, okay. Who knows the most about football? I was going to say like Bielsa or something.
Knowledge-wise,
everyone has their strengths, don't they? I think
everybody has strengths in different areas.
McCubbin's got some very niche knowledge.
Yeah.
I think the obvious answer is Pato, right? And Pato does have
that is the obvious.
Pato retains knowledge very well.
An incredible memory.
Yeah, you retain knowledge fantastically well.
So you write not the majority of our scripts, but you spend the majority of your time writing scripts. People don't know this. And I feel like when you've covered a subject, you remember it, and it makes you a nightmare to play against in stat with.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, I don't really know how else to answer this question.
I would probably agree with that.
But people have, we do editing, we do script writing, obviously presenting, people go out shooting vox pops in the streets. Everyone has a nice complementary skill set. But what's more important, guys, is mentality, because champions do more. So.
Champions do more, just remember it. Our final section is anything but football. If you want to be involved in this section next week, send us your questions on Twitter. The first comes from @Dante. He says, what's the favourite country you've ever been to?
The shift and move from death metal to this is really thrown.
This is actually psyched me out. I'm going to go for Cuba.
Oh, really?
Does this remind you of Cuba, does it?
It doesn't remind me of Cuba at all.
I've heard the food is very bad, but I've always wanted to go.
I don't really remember the food being that bad. I remember the food being okay, actually.
Okay.
But I remember the beaches and the people being amazing. The beaches are unbelievable in Cuba.
Apparently now is the time to go because it's been opened up to Americans, right? And Americans are flooding.
Yeah, I mean, I went when it was opened up, so when they still had the restrictions on mobile phones, on cars, and all that kind of stuff. So it was a place that was kind of very odd because when you were driving around, it was all like old-fashioned cars and old-fashioned shops
like
and old-fashioned, really bizarre.
Authentic feel for it.
So beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, I'll go Cuba.
This is like being asked you, what's your favourite film, right? And you kind of just, there's some standouts, but different places hold different memories and for different reasons. Like in terms of culture shocks, coaching football in Ghana for 7-8 weeks is an experience I'll never ever forget. Lived with a family as well for that time, so like you said about Cuba, I got a genuine feel for the place. Stayed in New York for like 3 months, again with New Yorkers, and it really helps when you're with someone who, when you're not doing just touristy things and you feel like you're having a genuine experience and you kind of get to know all the nooks and crannies. But yeah, I really want to go to Japan. I think I said this on the previous episode.
Tokyo.
I reckon that's next. What about you?
Brazil's definitely up there. Like going to Rio was amazing. Then going through the jungle to go to the waterfalls at Foz do Iguaçu. And Paraguay as well. Paraguay for a similar reason. You know, my parents met in Paraguay and my sister was born there, but I'd never been. And so we went back there like as a family and met all their old friends and like kind of showed us around and stuff. And Paraguay's an incredible place. Mexico's great.
Did you sit on a crocodile though, Van Straaten? Because I didn't go on and put that on screen right now. Real crocodile.
Wow.
You're well into animals.
Should we do the next anything about football question?
No, actually,
we've got a couple
one
more.
place in the world, going back to the crocodile thing,
Go on.
where they live with the crocodiles.
Yeah.
And they were properly bathing with it. It was well
Wow,
weird.
that's bizarre.
Fed it
Bizarre.
chicken as well.
Fitzy CFC says, what's a usual day like in the FD office?
Boring.
Wow, what do you want? The regimented time layout? Pretty much us just sat behind computers working, mate. Editing, writing, and then going up and doing a shoot in extremely small time
Maybe
slots.
escaping to the gym if you got time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've grown as a team, haven't we? It was, so pretty much just the three of us 18 months ago.
It's not the funnest.
And now we're a team of 12, 13, which means, you know, we have got more time to pursue things like Goa, Ivory Coast. What else have we done? Yeah, developing like current strands. I'm excited for the 18-19 season.
Should be good.
I think hopefully we'll get a bit more access behind the scenes with high-profile broadcasters, and we'll be able to take all our existing content to the next level. But yeah, we work hard. I mean, but when you're working in football and on YouTube, it's kind of doesn't feel like work, but it's still a slog.
Yeah, 100%. Final question then from Jamie Yates. He says, "What's your favourite beverage?" Ooh. Spicy.
Iron brew.
Iron brew?
No, Fanta fruit twist, Ribena. What is it? Just drink, full stop.
Beverage, yeah.
Does he mean like a going out?
If it means going out, yeah. So what do you drink on a night out potentially?
Rum and coke, maybe a little whiskey on the rocks.
Oh, whiskey on the rocks.
An old fashioned.
Bloody
I
hell.
like an old fashioned. An Aperol Spritz, a caipirinha. Caipirinha's always good.
Vodka Red Bull. You know, so
Be ashamed of yourself.
vodka Red Bull, vodka lemonade,
Hot chocolate, mate. Delicious.
Vodka.
a hot chocolate. A hot chocolate.
What are you talking
I
about,
hate
you
a hot
moron?
chocolate. Hot
You're an
chocolate.
idiot. You drink disgusting coffee all the time. Replace it with a hot chocolate.
What are you
Your
on
life
about?
will be better.
Vodka, soda, and lime's pretty sick. Because you're hydrating yourself as you go.
Costa caramel latte, 3 sugars, not bad.
Terrible.
So
These are rancid choices.
cherry Coke,
Oh my god.
only served on the rocks.
What would you go
Cherry
for?
Coke is actually great.
After football, your mouth is as dry as Gandhi's flip flop. You've got a quid to spend. You go to a corner shop.
Quid?
What are you getting? Yeah, I mean, maybe not in London, but
I'll tell you what I tried yesterday. What was that thing I tried? Grape Fanta yesterday. A little bit too much, if anything.
you got a quid,
So-
Van Straaten.
Stowford Press, if I was pushed.
You know what's really good is grape juice. Grape juice is amazing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Like if you're parched, like just some fruit juice like that would just really like replenish your electrolytes, mate.
Replenish your electrolytes.
Is that it?
Send-
Original
is that it?
Lucozade
I
as well.
send it on that. Orange Lucozade
Bang.
is much better than
No,
original
orange
Lucozade.
Lucozade is disgusting.
You are
It's
you
vile,
are
mate.
you're a
It is
moron.
vile.
Disgusting.
Pair of you are
Vile.
Idiot.
stupid.
Why wouldn't you just buy Fanta?
Simpleton.
As opposed to orange Lucozade.
Yeah.
You think those two are related?
Fanta.
To the
It's
size,
better.
the size of your eyes. Go and sleep.
Fanta's better. I've been up since
Fanta-
3 a.m.
Fanta's trash.
Heathrow. You lot airlines.
What did you
Wow.
what did you have to drink?
You lot airlines.
All right, let's calm
I had
down.
a
lot.
latte. I've already had 3.
Yeah, them for getting you off a plane
Yeah.
whose
No,
engine wasn't working.
F***ing our whole trip and then refusing to put another plane on for any of the England fans.
All right,
Probably won't make the edit.
That'll
will
do,
it?
that'll do.
It's a
F***ing lot airlines.
Maybe it will.
LOT. Never
Gotta
fly
wrap-
lot airlines.
Gotta wrap this up.
So.
Wrap it up. F*** 'em. F*** lot airlines. So that's the end of Sunday Vibes. Lads, what else is happening on Football Daily's network?
Interesting
this weekend?
tonal shift.
Yeah.
We've got Stat Was the Champions. I'm about to go off and shoot that right now. We've got Transfer Review, as we said earlier. We've got Continental Club, that'll be out. World Cup reviews from earlier in the week. All sorts of good going on, I think.
Yeah, go and watch a couple of our news shows too. Kieran's Comment Show, which comes out on Saturday on EuroFootball Daily after Stat Wars. Educating Gelab, the second episode, like I said, went live on Tuesday, so you might have to dig through the video feed for that. But, you know, apart from that, just be safe.
And lot airlines.
And don't fly lot. So,
Bye.
Bye.
so long.